Breaking Brown family, what's going on? It's Yvette Carnell coming to you as I do every Monday and Wednesday Eastern Standard Time. Get yourselves together as I do give you a moment to get your libations, get the baby together, put your work clothes together, put your pajamas on. Whatever you got to do, depending on what time zone you're in, I want you to do that right now. Do that right now because we got a show and it's packed with some data. You know how I like data. It's packed with some data. I'm going to try not to keep you too long. I'm going to try not to keep you too long, but I want everybody to get in here so that we can, you know, start having the conversation that we have every week. That's what we do. That's what we do every week. We had a conversation. So I want to start having the conversation as soon as possible. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't subscribed already, please take a minute. You don't have to take a long time. Just take a minute and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you're watching, hey, what's going on? If you're watching, I see everybody here. Fanning, what's going on? Jimmy, what's going on? Oh, you got Jimmy John. Okay. If you hit the bell button to get notifications when we're on, I'd appreciate if you do that too. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button. Share this on your Facebook page. Share this in the groups so we can, because we got to have this conversation. I want you to go to breakingbrown.com. If you haven't already, subscribe to the newsletter. It's $2 a month. And I'm going to try to start using our list. We have a list. I'm going to try to start using the general list as well. So go to subscribetobrown.com as well. Go to donatebrown.com as well and do that. Like I said, for those of you who didn't hear last week, the Booker T. Washington conversation will take place in June as opposed to May because next week, is it next week? What day of the month is it? Yeah. I think it'll be next week. I'll be out of town because I have some family stuff to do and I'm not going to be back. And then I have a meeting. I have another meeting in DC, so I won't be back in time enough. So I won't be able to do this show in May, but we'll do the Booker T. Washington conversation. Remember, you're supposed to be reading Up From Slavery and The Education of Booker T. Washington. You're supposed to be reading those two things to prepare for the conversation that we're going to have. So please, if you have not already, go find your beer. Somebody said, where's my beer? Go find your beer. Go find your wine, your vodka, whatever you like. Go find it and get yourself ready because we got some stuff to talk about.
Tell your friends.
So tell your friends. We finna talk black politics. Ain't nobody want to talk black politics. People want to talk aspiration and inspiration. Fairy tales, we going to tell the truth. We're going to shame the devil. So that's what we're going to do right now. Now, so I'm laughing, y'all. YouTube's coming. So now I'm going to try to.
Ashley Home Stores, great.
You all right, Iron?
I'm okay.
So what we're gonna do, since I think we have some people streaming in now. Yeah, no vision boards. Get that stuff out. You on the wrong page. If you're doing vision boards, you on the wrong page. I can direct you to a page that you need to be on, but it ain't this page. You on the wrong page. No secret, no aspiration. No wild aspiration with nothing to base it on. Here at this, we are real people. We grown people, and we're anchored in the truth. That's what we do here. So I saw a video. Somebody sent me this, and I want to thank the person who sent me. They asked me not to mention their name, so I won't. But I want to thank the person who sent me this video, because I needed to see this. And this video is everything that's wrong with what we're trying to do in terms of reparations, in terms of getting our due, in terms of black politics. This video is awful. Now I want you to watch this video. Now I have an assignment for you. Once you watch this video, if you have a pencil or a paper, if you just have a really good memory, I want you to tell me everything that you see wrong with this video. Okay? I want to play this video and I want you to tell me everything that you see wrong with this video, because I saw it and I was shocked. I was taken aback. I was floored. And I said, I got to show this to the Breaking Brown family. So let's roll this if you got it, Aaron.
He is the first president in modern history to have zero political or military experience, and he has no interest in helping the disenfranchised.
Ref, how do you feel about this? You must be more concerned than all of us.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Well, I mean, obviously I have cause for concern, right? But my parents saw a lot worse, so I still have hope.
That is such a positive outlook, but all I feel is outrage. You know, how can we expect to progress as a nation if this is how we're treating our poor?
Right, but I mean, I'm not poor.
Oh,
Oh my God, that was so rude.
That's okay.
We know we're all rich in our own way.
Yes. Rich in love.
Nope.
Rich blood.
Nope.
Rich in stamps.
Nope. See, no, I'm not poor. See, just because I'm black doesn't mean I'm poor.
I'm not racist.
Seriously, if anyone's poor, it's me.
Exactly. Same. You know, we're not here to judge. You know, we're not here for that.
Pizza's here.
Oh, yes. So hungry.
How do you guys want to pay for this?
Split it 4 ways?
Yeah, totally.
No, there's 5 of us, so 5 ways.
We know you would pay if you could, Raph. No need.
Seriously, dude.
Literally.
Save that. Like, get a phone card, call home, or whatever.
Change?
We work the same job. I can't talk to you guys anymore. Hey, Trap.
Oh, I'm sorry. I only have $1. I hope that's okay. God bless.
What is wrong with all of you? I'm black, not poor. I have a 401k.
Jeez, how slow is that internet?
They only have dial-up.
Is it just like how your neighborhood works?
I live a block away from you.
It's crazy to think how different things can be just a block away. I think we'll find that gentrification is a bigger problem than any of us ever realized.
Tell me more.
Gentrification now, these affluent people are coming in and they're pushing these poorer people out of the neighborhood just because they think it's kind of cool taking from these people, these families that, you know, no longer afford to. I mean, that's the thing about the reality of the situation, which is these families, affluent, richer people, just pushing these poorer people pushed out of their own homes. It's these people they've been there, you know, for years and years.
Cheer up, friend. Things are gonna turn around.
I'm not poor.
We can all see your toes sticking out of your shoes, dude.
These are sandals. Act like you never seen sandals before. How did you even get in here?
I found this key card.
Hey, we don't have to look at that.
Forget this, man. I'm going home.
Oh.
This hobo bindle is a very expensive item at Urban Outfitters.
Hey, man. Can you lend me $100?
I'm queer, not rich.
Thought I was dead, didn't you? Mike Trout.
Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, before I say anything, let me just say, if you go out, don't let your pride get in the way. If you're out somewhere with some white people and they buy you lunch, you eat that. You eat it. Now, that's different than saying if somebody cooks it for you, but I'm not saying eat other people's cooking. But if they give you free food, you deserve that.
I want to say something real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Okay, so I was at lunch with, I was at dinner with some of my friends. They're fancy, they're all professionals. I was not. I was a clerk or jobless at the time. I can't remember one or the other. Anyway, they all ordered white lawyer food, and I ordered like a salad or something like that. And they all ordered drinks too. And at the end, like one of these lawyers who makes me very upset, she was a woman, said, why don't we just all split it? And everyone just kind of nodded and said, like, yeah, we'll just split it down the middle. And that was fine. I swear to God, I was going to punch every one of them. I
had a salad because I was conscious.
Like I knew who I was when I ordered. When I ordered, I knew who I was. And they just said split it at the end.
Yeah, because they all got money.
I was going to cut one of them.
I'm never going out with y'all again. No.
No.
I had a Caesar salad. I didn't even add the chicken. Because I don't have no money.
They had
came
drinks.
in here.
They had drinks, Yvette.
And they drink a lot of drinks.
I was about to punch someone. I was so mad. I paid it and I made it home, but man, never again. Never again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so if they volunteer to pay, let them pay. But let's just go back. Let's just go back. This man said, just because I'm black doesn't mean I'm poor. Hit clip number 2 for me, Aaron. Just because I'm black doesn't mean I'm poor. What I'm saying is, that's exactly what it means. You're working class poor. Let's think about this young man with his little Urban Outfitters and his flip-flops on and all that stuff. Do you know that he's probably, not probably, he is. There's no black money really under 60. You can say maybe 55, but there's no really black money under 60. That's boomer money. What's happening is this black man, and look at that, that's what real poor people like in America. That's black people in America. This little man he's a striver. He got his little flip-flops on, his little sandals, but he don't have no money. He don't have no money. He says, I live around the corner from you. I live around the corner from you. He tells the white guy, I live around the corner. No, most black people live around each other. Most black people don't live around white hippies. Most, not all, but the overwhelming majority don't live. And the ones who do, if you have a house around white hippies, that's credit. Everything you have is credit. And that's one of the things that's happened to us, is that credit has been allowed to mask the fact that we didn't get what we should have got. But I'm going to get to that in a minute. I just want to show you some clips. I just want to show you what life in black America really looks like. It don't look like flip-flops. And it don't look like flip-flops and hipster gear. It looks like lead water. That's what it looks like. It looks like, it looks like Providence, which is in Louisiana. And cross one river, a bunch of poor black people. Cross the other river, a bunch of affluent, rich white people. That's America. That's what America looks like. And I especially when you did, the problem is, and here's the problem. The problem is we were supposed to be made whole. After slavery, the whole 40 acres and a mule thing was because how do we make black people whole? We have to find a way to make them whole, because it was a given. What people don't understand now, we understood back then that it was a given that we didn't get what we were supposed to get, because we were enslaved while other people were getting money. So how do we make them whole? Well, we didn't get that. White people took over during, so that's what Reconstruction is about. Southern white racists took over. Southern racists took over. And so we didn't get anything. So let me read you something. You see that up right now? That's the 100-year-old penalty for being black. Okay? That's at citylab.com. If you want to find it. But it'll be in, if you subscribe to the newsletter, it'll be in there. But listen to what they say. They say between 1880 and 2010, whites showed much higher rates of upward mobility than blacks, even if their parents started from the same economic position. I'm going to read that again. Between 1880 and 2010, 1880 to 2010, whites showed much higher rates of upward mobility than blacks, even if their parents started from the same economic position. There is a specific penalty for black people, which is independent of whatever income their fathers earn. Okay? And that has been constant for 100 years. So whatever you do, no matter where your father lands, that doesn't come to you. It's a penalty for blackness. What that means is what I say here all the time. We've been rendered an underclass. So it is offensive to me to have this little black guy say, I'm black, not poor. What do you mean I'm poor? What do you mean? Why would you want to buy me lunch? Maybe because your family came from slaves. They should buy you everything, not just lunch. You should be asking for more, not less. What's wrong with you? I mean, when you look at it, and let me just break it down. This is 100, you got to think about this. You got to really think, this is a 100-year penalty for just being black. Nothing that you've done, nothing that you've said. And it says history provides some evidence of what happened in this span of time. After the Civil War, the promise of land and as compensation to former slaves never panned out. Freed slaves continued to work on farms, primarily in the South, that they did not own and under terrible conditions. Those who did not own land often had it taken from them through deception and violence. That's just thievery. They just came in and took your stuff. Took your ancestors, took my ancestors' stuff and said, this is mine now. And the government said, we're not getting involved. Or the government aided and abetted like they did in redlining. That means the government owes a debt. That's what that means. History provides some evidence. See, this is in 1870, before the federal troops withdrew, black per capita income was just 28%. This is what's happened to us. Okay, now I want to break something else down for you. And I know I've mentioned this before, and I'm not trying to reiterate myself, and I'm not trying to say stuff for people who haven't been here. I'm trying to say stuff for people who haven't been here before, because I have to get people to understand this. Now, I've mentioned this data point one time before, but it deserves to be reiterated in this conversation. The bottom 50% in this country We're talking about 50% has 1% of the wealth. That's one. The bottom 50% of this country has 1% of the wealth. All working age African Americans are in that bottom 50%. The only few people who are not are boomers. All working age black people are in that bottom 50% that has 1% of the wealth.
Some people say, look, make sure you make a distinction between wealth and income, because there are some working age black people who make more than 50% income, but still they're in that bottom 50% because their parents are broke.
Well, you got no wealth though.
You don't have wealth.
Like wealth so is not, income is not wealth.
Right. So if
you gotta spend that, you gotta pay mortgage, you gotta pay rent, and you got student debt.
Right.
And you have to X out that student debt. If you got $50, $100, $200,000 student debt, you gotta minus that. You can't act like that doesn't exist.
Right. So the people who are making like $120,000, $130,000 a year and they're black, they're thinking, well, I'm not in the bottom 50% of wealth.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Because that's all the money you have, while your partner has that money plus, or your colleague has that money plus whatever family.
Plus everything else that they came with.
Yeah.
Look, and listen, you need...
Income is not wealth,
let me just read something to you. If you're white, and this is from your web, if you're white and have a net worth of about $356,000, that's good enough to put you in the 72nd percentile of white families. If you're black, it's good enough to catapult you into the 95th percentile. This means 28% of the total 83 million white homes, or over 23 million white households, have more than $356,000 in net assets, while only 700,000 of the 14 million black homes have more than $356,000 in total net worth. That is nothing.
And honestly, $350,000, if you know this, if you're from California, that means you probably own your house. Like that's a house.
But what does it mean that we've been run out of California?
What?
What does it mean that we've been run out of California? We don't have it.
You don't have it. That means you can't even buy a house in California.
But let me just ask the question. Let me just ask the questions, because I know people are going to say that. You need 90,000 to be out of the bottom 50. And I talked about what it means to be in the bottom 50. You need 90,000 to be out of the bottom 50. Do you got 90,000?
That's in your bank.
I'm just asking. Do you have 90,000 right now? If I asked you to pull up your stuff, investments, whatever, do you have 90,000? Because that's what you need to be out of it. If I come up to you, most of you would tell me no. I would tell you no. I don't have it either. No. I don't have it. No. You don't have it. But this person is telling you that you're not poor. What does that mean? And I don't want to hear anything. Please don't tell me anything about, well, but I got life insurance. I mean, student loan is good debt. There's no such thing as good debt no more. Debt is debt, and you got to pay that. Do that mean you don't have to pay your student loan? That's debt. You got to take that out. You got to take that out. And I'm trying to get you to understand what that means for you and your life and your family. And the thing is, what you have to also understand is that even if you're one of the people who has it, let's say you have it, and you say, Yvette, I have $90,000. Guess what? That takes you out of the bottom 50, but that still don't make you stable. You're still not stable. You still don't have any stability. To have stability in the richest country in the world, where wealth calcification is already up there, you need $350 to $400K. You got that? Do you have $350 to $400? Just tell me. I know you don't, because the data say you don't. You'll be in the top 5% with that of black people. Middle white family got 100. I'm just saying. Okay? So only 5% of African American households, and those are boomers, have more than $350K. That's what that says. What I'm trying to understand is whether or not you understand what that means for your life. Whether or not you understand what that means in terms of why the white kids still get to go to college and your kid might not. You know, even if you had $400,000 right now and you had 2 college-bound kids, you still be struggling.
Yeah.
you still be struggling. If you had $400K and you had 2 kids headed to college, you still be struggling right now. And most of us don't even have that, but we talking about college. And we talking about business. And we talking about like this little flip-flop wearing fool. Like we ain't poor. We're working class poor. The data says who we are. The question is, how do we get here and what do we get out of it? And what do we do about it? That's the big question. And you can put the clip 5 up and just so I want you all to just see. I just read this to you, but just look at it for a second. Just take a peek. Just look at it. Just read it for yourself. Just read it for yourself to see exactly what it means.
Oh.
This is it. I want you to take a look at that and I want you to tell me, do you have that? And what is it? And it's no mistake. It's not our fault. Like, part of the problem is that we like to think that this is my fault. I must have done something wrong to be here. I must have made a bad decision to be here. No, the problem is we come from slaves. We didn't enslave ourselves, though.
Can you read it one more time? It's up.
Yeah, it says if you're white and have a net worth of about $356,000, that's good enough to put you in the 72nd percentile of white families. If you're black, it's good enough to catapult you into the 95th percentile. This means 28% of the total 83 million white homes or over 23 million white households have more than $356,000 in net assets, while only 700,000 of the 14 million black homes have more than $356,000 in total net worth. People. Somebody said, let's make solutions. The first solution is understanding who you are and how you got here. Stop trying to skip over the learning part. That's what a lot of people try to do. I want solutions right now. It's almost like, anybody you drink like Crystal Light or Kool-Aid, people want it instantly. Well, just give me a solution. Like you a crackhead. Are you crazy? Hold on. The first solution is understanding who you are and how you got here. And the first solution is understanding it's not your fault. Yvette's trying to abdicate responsibility. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you the truth of your history. People were making money off you. Off of our ancestors. That's what people were doing. They were making money off of us. And we were the labor that they didn't have to pay for. And now there's a cost to bear for that. And you cannot make up that cost. You know, it's funny. I was reading an article today from it was about Amazon.com. And it said that the only company that might be able to compete with Amazon.com was Walmart, because they had the distribution centers, they had the trucks on the road. But it was like Walmart might have a shot, but it's the only company that might have a shot. And I hear black business people saying, I'm going to compete with Amazon. Walmart might not even be able to compete with them, and you're going to try to do that? I need you, before I start talking anything about solutions, I need you to start thinking clearly. Because right now you're deluded. Let's take a look. And let's take a look at clip number 6. We're going to talk about, this is Angola prison in Louisiana. I want you to look at that and tell me about how not poor black people are. Just look at that and look at the visual. Just look at the visual that thing presents right there. And tell me again what this little man with the shoes on, with the little fancy shoes on and the sandals on. Look at that. Now, doesn't that look a lot to you like the overseer? Tell me what's changed. I don't understand what's changed from then until now. It looks the same to me.
Are you telling me why people don't commit crime? I don't see.
They commit crime all the time. They just don't go to jail. They commit crime. Exactly. They just don't go to jail. That's the difference.
That's what it looks like to me.
That's what it is. Yep. Now tell me again about how things have changed and there's this opportunity. You mean to tell me all those black men in that photo are horrible people? No. It's just the ways that they had to go to the black market. Ain't no jobs. This is Louisiana. So go to clip number 7 too, because this clip looks a lot like another clip. Looks a lot like another clip I saw. This was back in the 90s. Bill Clinton standing in front of a bunch of prisoners. They do that in Arkansas too. The people work for they work for the prisoners work for the jailers like servants, just like old time in Massa House. That's how they got it set up. Your black business gonna change all that? I just want to know. Look at the incarceration rate in Louisiana for me. Just take a look at that for me. Look at that rate. Look at that incarceration rate for me. And look how blacks are incarcerated. Look at that. That's because we're an underclass and we don't have no money and no power. The only way we get power in the richest country in the world is with money. There's no way around it.
And we can't just make money.
You can't make money. You don't own no dispensary. You don't own no treasury printing press. How you gonna make money? People just, that sounds like you 5 years old. I'm gonna make money. How? Because the stuff that started to making money, that came during a time where there were no rules. So I've said this before, but like you don't understand it. Like there were no rules. There were no rules. There were no rules during the time that these people, these barons, these white barons of industry. Imagine if what you could have did in the 1800s with no rules.
And slaves.
And you weren't no slave. You had slaves. Imagine if the situation was reversed and the white people were slaves and you were not. Imagine what you could have done and the empires you could have built.
I could have made moves.
Just easy to make moves.
Could have made so many moves.
It's just easy to make. So I mean, that's what you have to understand. I mean, put like clip number 9. Let's talk about poverty again. But if you put clip number 9 up, that's the Providence Lake. It's the most unequal place. Where inequality is the highest in America. It's in Louisiana. Providence Lake. This is what poverty looks like in America. Black poverty. Now compare that to the little guy who had his little sandals on. I'm not poor. I shop at Urban Outfitters. Come on, man. That's what Black America looks like. And even if you go to a job and you don't wear those clothes, you still existing on credit. Credit is masking the fact that you don't have that. I want them to snatch your credit from you and see what you got. Snatch everything that you got on credit and see what you left with. Your clothes. What you want me to do?
I want to I want you to announce what Black politics can do.
Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying. All right, so we found out today that a Black-owned business got one of the contracts to redo some of the pipes in Flint, the municipal pipes, not the housing pipes, but the municipal pipes and the public pipes in Flint, and that is a $23 million contract.
Put it up.
Yeah. All right. So that's a $23 million contract, and they got $10.5 million of that contract. That's one of the contract. Now, it's a $25 million contract total, and they got $10.5 million of it. The rest is yet to be allocated. That's what a Black politics can do, because $10.5 million is actually, it's some money. It's actually real money in a Black-owned business.
Real money.
That's real money. So what's not real money is your little $200 Jordans, your little $5 whatever, or your $7 movie tickets. That's not real money.
No, it's not. I mean,
that's not going to get you in the game if you save it. That's not going to. It's just
and
not.
And it can't be. And let's make it clear. It can't be just one Black contractor.
Right.
Like we have to like really and truthfully. If you think of where we come from, white people should have like the government. We shouldn't even have incubation.
Right.
Should have incubators for us and teaching us business and giving us money for business. We shouldn't have to do it ourselves. For what? How do you handicap me and just like beat my knees for 400 years and be like, come on, get up, race. Don't you want to race me? Or like Antonio Moore said, with the shoes. So you wear me as the shoes, and then you say, shoes, you want to race? I'm not even a person yet. You made me into something else. You made me into a tool.
And then when I tried to be a person, you lynched me.
You said, no, you're not.
Yeah. Burned down Black Wall Street.
And just killed me. Come on, man. And I think, the thing that really hits me today is while this guy has this thing up talking about we're not poor, something came down the pike today. You know what came down the pike today and yesterday in the past few days? You know what that it was, Army?
Are you talking about the killing at University of Oregon?
Medicaid cuts.
Medicaid. Oh, yes.
Medicaid cuts. Everybody let me tell you, in preparing for today's show, I went on YouTube and went to a bunch of different Negroes channels. I went to a bunch of different Black media pages, and I ain't seen nothing but foolishness. I didn't see anything but craziness. We're facing the worst draconian cuts from a president who promised. Trump promised, I'm not going to cut Medicaid and Medicare. I think you have to grow, I think. And now he's just confused. And that's why I wanted to get in front of him, because I know he was going to be confused. Somebody got to talk to him.
You want me to put this up with
put it up. up. Like, put it up. You see that? You see, I want you to put that up. This was the headline of the Root today. Now, we're facing all of this madness, and this is what the Root gave us. I'm so disappointed. This is what the Root gave us. And look at that. Trump is spilling all the tea because he's a messy bitch. That's on the Root now. It ain't black owned no more, so I guess I understand. But you got to be careful about what you read. These people are not sending you. This should be the headline.
Medicaid cuts.
Medicaid cuts of every black. If you are of every black media outlet, this should be the headline. If this is not the headline, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. It just is what it is, because look at this. I want you to look at this. Look at clip. Look at the next clip. Put that up, Arm. Look at black poverty. Look at black poverty rates. Just look at black poverty rates. I want you to look at it. That comes from being the descendant of a slave. And what that means for us is that we in trouble. Because we're poor because of what we come from, and that we were never compensated for what happened to us. And so we have to get on Medicaid. That's kind of why we were taken out of the system. Medicaid people were taken out of the market because they knew we weren't going to have enough to pay. That was the whole point. So what does that mean? That means that you got these people who are on disability because they're mentally ill. That means these people in nursing homes, all them people are finished. Can you take care of your granny who was in a nursing home when she gets kicked out? Well, why you ain't talking about it? Why aren't we organizing against this stuff that's about to happen? Because it's garbage. We need to start organizing against this right now. Put this up. Put the next one up. All right. This is why black Medicaid cuts are so important. Like, I feel like this is like an attempt to just finish us. I mean, I'm not trying. This is what I feel like, and I feel like we're not fighting. Like, you got to get in the fight.
We're watching Scandal, though.
We're watching Scandal. We're watching football. We're watching basketball and the finals now, but we're not paying attention to the right stuff. This is everything for your family. I want African Americans on public assistance. Look at that. Just look at that for me.
So even if that's not you, that's your cousin.
That's somebody you know. If you a black person, you saying you don't know nobody in this list, you a lie.
You a lie. Oh, you just ignorant. Yeah.
You a lie. You a lie, and you a striver, and I ain't got nothing for you. You just a striver. If you say you don't know, I don't know poor black person. I don't know nobody on Medicaid or on food stamp. You a lie. Because places like Walmart give people instructions on how to fill out food stamps and apply for food stamps because they know they don't pay enough. They know they don't pay enough, and they know they short you of 40 hours a week so they don't have to provide health care. So they say go get on Medicaid. And that's all we have. But we don't have it we have it because we didn't get no in vivo transfers, which are well transfers, and we have it because people are paying too little. There was a time when productivity and wages were in line. Productivity went up, wages went up. Wages have been stagnant. Productivity's been up, and we've been down. And we're workers. We're working class people. We're a bunch of working class people with no work. How can you be working class people with no work? Working class people with no job. We're not lazy. We don't have jobs. And anybody who tells you, well, everybody can start a business, that's not how life works. Somebody got to be a business owner. Somebody got to be a worker bee. But for the worker bees, there ain't no jobs. And that's what it is for the majority of Americans, not just black people. Come on, man.
But disproportionately black people.
Yes, but disproportionately black people.
Right.
Did we do 13? Yeah, we did that 13. I mean, I want you to look at clip number 14 now. I mean, I want you to, because I like to talk data. I don't like to just shuck and jive and tell you to feel good about yourself and that life is going to change if you love yourself. That's some vision board nonsense I don't buy into, because if that was the case, black people, I mean, we would have been here. If it was just thinking positive, we would have been here a long time ago.
A lot of people thought positive in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s. Now they got to watch their kids not do so well. That's what thinking positive screwed up your kids.
Without black politics will get you homeless.
Screwed up your kids.
Screwed up your kids, screwed up your family, screwed up your life. Thinking positive without black politics will leave you in a hell of a predicament. Black politics is how we got here. We have a black radical tradition in this country where we challenge this stuff. We push back against it. But now we bought into this conservative ideology. Look at these history of black poverty in America. Look at that. I mean, I want you to look at that and pause it if you need to.
People
Pause
might
it if you need to.
people might need to know what I mean by black politics.
Go
I mean a
ahead.
politics that puts money into black people's pockets. That's if you need to remember anything. But what are they talking about black politics? I mean a politics that's that's organized to get money into black people's pockets.
And people say they stole it. What we gonna do? We gonna get it back.
We're gonna get it back.
Y'all talking about get rich or die trying. I'm talking about get my money, get my reparations or die trying. It's funny to me that you'll hustle and grind to get it back, but you won't get involved in black politics to get it back. That's the only way we get it back.
That's the only way we get it back.
I said this last episode, but I'm gonna say it until people get it. We are in the richest country in the world. What that means when budget time comes around is there a whole bunch of multi-million, billion, trillion dollars that are gonna be dispersed to different groups.
Right.
Dispersed to different organizations as subsidies here, there, to and fro. The only thing that I am asking, demanding, is that our money comes back to us in ways that benefit us. Because the only way, it's not about a white person hating black skin, or hating black bodies. This is about the fact that they don't have to respect us because we don't got no money. And this is the richest country in the world where a lot of people got money. Middle white family with 100K, and we don't have any money. You don't get any respect. If we want a third world country, it would be different. But we're in the richest country in the world. Nobody cares about people with no money. And the thing is, us not having no money isn't anything that we did wrong. So we need to get involved and get our black politics together. And so now, and those black people who do get contracts, we got to hold them accountable too. You can't just be getting contracts and then walking away. You can't be a black business owner and we rally for you to get a contract and you rally away, or you say some old mess about, well, I can't just hire black people. No. We need a commitment from you up front, bro. I'm sorry. About what you're gonna do with the community, what you're gonna give back. So I think the one thing it's historic. And the one thing I want to say is, I'm talking about the data we just put up was about poverty, right? That was just poverty. But what I want to say too is that most people, are not impoverished. But even when you look at how we do when we talk about business, I want y'all to think about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, if you look at the Hollywood Reporter, y'all can go Google right now, Tyler Perry, the Hollywood Reporter. And he says Hollywood is not about race. It's about greed. It's about money. This is a man whose content has been about black people, whose viewers have been black. And he's going to sidestep race. Those are the kind of black business people that we're getting right now. Okay?
So yeah, supporting Oprah to get a contract, that doesn't count.
No.
No.
And as a matter of fact, some of these people might as well be white.
Yeah.
How do you make your day off of black people? Make all your money. You make all your money, Tyler, off black people. Your content is for black people, Tyler Perry. And then when it comes down to it, Tyler Perry, what you do? When it comes down to standing up for black people about race, you say, I don't know nothing about that. I'm not of that class. What class you of? You used to be homeless. What class you think you of, Tyler?
And honestly, if Tyler used to be homeless, that means his relatives.
He ain't got no generational wealth. He has nothing.
No, yeah.
He made all of his money off working class black people, and then when he got to a stage where he could benefit working class black people, he turned his back on them. Yeah. And we should turn our backs on him. Yes. Ain't nothing wrong with turning your backs on a turncoat or a traitor. If you find a traitor in your midst, the best thing you could do is turn your back on them. I keep telling y'all, we got to get rid of the traitors, man. It ain't just about like, oh, it's all about the white man. He decided at a certain point he wanted to be raceless. How do you make your money off black people and decide race don't matter no more? And why do y'all accept that from him? Because he got money. Well, Tyler got money. Let him to black Hollywood. And that ain't no black Hollywood. Ain't no black. It's a cheap place for Tyler Perry to make movies and churn them out. Come on. And y'all gonna let him get away with this. Y'all gonna let him get away with doing us like that. What's wrong with y'all? He doing that when he's a black man. So what? He got all his money because of Madea. And the truth, he got all his money. And you know who went to see Madea? A bunch of black people who were church-going people, good people, and they did it because they wanted to see a black man do well. Even if this movie ain't right, even if the cinematography ain't right, even if the writing is garbage, we want to see a black man do well. And that's why we went. And when he gets up top, he screws all of us over. And you support him still. Why? I don't support raceless black people who made all their money off of us. I don't support that, Oprah. I don't support that, Tyler. And we shouldn't either. Put up that poverty line definition for me, Iron. Let's put that up. Because we talked a lot about how many black people are poor, but I want you to see what poor really means. We're talking about a family of four, like $24,000.
And that's 27% of black people?
Yeah, like something like that, but still, like you gotta think about it.
No, but that means 27% of black people are like destitute, because that's no money.
That's destitute, but you gotta think about it. When we talked about it takes 80,000. When we talked about it takes 80,000 to get out of the bottom 50, how many of us ain't even got 24? And so if you are at 30, you're above that number, but what does that mean? It don't mean nothing. What's the difference between 24 and 54 and 30? Nothing.
Right.
But you're not counted as impoverished.
Right. Oh, we're not all poor. I make $30,000 a year for my family of four.
Jesus.
No, you're still poor.
How do you feed them?
You're still poor. You're broke.
You poor.
You're
like
broke.
the poverty line in America is way too low.
Right. Need to be race adjusted.
That's part of the problem.
It might need to be race adjusted, because if your family's got like a lot of money, there's a difference between making $9.
When you talk about this, they don't even look at. They're not looking at wealth. They're looking at worth.
They're looking at worth.
We don't even enter when you talk about wealth. They're looking at worth, dude. We're not even in that number. Come on, people. Like, how do you not want to challenge your government? How do you not want to challenge black people who get in the way after they take our money and use that to catapult them in Hollywood? And they say, "No, I don't see race no more. I just see green." What?
I would like to see a few movies
Our
about...
families are worth nothing or in debt. What does that mean?
I want to see some media about poor people's politics.
I do too.
I want to see some media, like, doesn't have to be Good Times or Sanford and Son, but like, although I like Good Times and Sanford and Son, I wouldn't mind seeing more media about black people's politics.
Yeah, me.
Poor people's politics.
Because listen, in terms of the media, I want to see us represented in a way that is real, in a way that represents our real lives. So people are like, I want to be represented good on TV. I don't want all of us to be crack dealers or whatever, because that's not representative. But give me a bus driver, or give me a factory worker, because that's Black America. All this stuff y'all doing, I'm a marketing exec. No, you ain't.
So if I want to see aspirational politics, give me a show about black organizers.
Yeah, give me that show.
Give me the kind of strive and the kind of aspiration I want.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think something else we should talk about before I end this and go to the phones. You can put the phone number up, Ivy, if you can. But before I end this and go to the phones, there's something else I want to bring up. And I just want to bring this up in a context. One of the things that I find when I talk to people, it's almost as if black people are embarrassed about, and you can bring up clip number 16 when you get a chance, Ivy. I think black people are embarrassed of being poorer than other people. And I think black people have been shamed almost into feeling that we should feel bad about our poverty, as if that's an individual failure. And what I say on this show all the time, that's not an individual failure, that's a systemic failure. We were targeted as black people to be enslaved. We were targeted for redlining. During Reconstruction, we were targeted by the KKK. That's not something that's individual. That's a failure of America. That's a failure of the United States. But
how many parents tell their kids that they're poor? I think a lot of, they
tell them, they take out second mortgages and go to the Essence Festival, or they go to football games and stuff.
Right, to give the illusion that we're fine.
But it's still credit.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that
that's about
a lot of people are confused. Like a lot of 17, 18, 19-year-olds.
Yeah, they got an iPod or an iPad and an iPhone. They think everything's fine.
They don't think they're poor.
No.
Because their parents lied to them.
And then they get mad at me when I say, yeah, you're working class poor. No, I'm not. Yes, you are.
Your parents didn't tell you the truth, though.
No, because your parents don't know the truth. Because credit has masked everything. See, we were supposed to get wealth sent to us, right, doing as 40 acres. But since we didn't get it, they just said, here's some credit. That'll hold you over. And it did. But it's not wealth. And so you wonder why we don't have no wealth, but we just got credit. That's how we got here. So what I said about black people feeling bad, I just want to say this. I want to read from an article, and it's in Forbes, and it says it's the unspeakable realities, of black universe of. Hold on a second. Let me read this for you. Let me read this article. Unspeakable realities block universal health coverage in America. And it's something very interesting because a lot of black people don't want to be seen as being on the government, being in charge of the government, taking government subsidies, by not realizing that white people do it all the time. White socialism exists all the time. It's just hidden. It's hidden from you. So listen to this. It says, like most of my neighbors, I have a good job. This is written by a white person. Like most of my neighbors, I have a good job in the private sector. Ask my neighbors about the cost of the welfare programs they enjoy. You will be greeted by baffled stares. All that we have is earned, and we perceive no need for government support. Nevertheless, taxpayers fund our retirement saving, health insurance, primary, secondary, and advanced education, daycare, commuter costs, and even our mortgages at a staggering public cost. Socialism for white people is all-enveloping, benevolent, invisible, and insulated by the nasty, deceptive notion that we have earned our benefits by our own hand. My family's generous health insurance costs about $20,000 a year, of which we pay only $4,000 in premiums. The rest is subsidized by taxpayers. You read that right. Like virtually everyone else on my block who isn't old enough for Medicare or employed by the government, my family is covered by private health insurance subsidized by taxpayers at a stupendous public cost. Well over 90% of white households earning over the white median income, $75,000, carried health insurance even before the Affordable Care Act. White socialism is nice if you can get it. Stop thinking that other people, that you don't want to be on the government because other people aren't. Everybody is. It doesn't make sense that you say, I don't want anything from the government when everybody else is on the government. Private health care is government. That's deductible. That's a big deal. I mean, I don't know how we don't understand that. That's a big deal to get that from the government, to be able to get that, and they can do that with the taxes. That's a big deal, but we act like it's not. We act like we're the only people. And then you have these right-wing publications that say the same thing. Well, black people need to get out the government. You on the government too. The government pays your health care because they can deduct that. The company that you work for can deduct it on their taxes. Shut up. You need to start telling them, shut up, don't talk to me. And the last thing I'll say about the video before we go to the phones is this. The problem I have with videos like this say, I'm not poor. You put a dagger in the heart of reparations.
Yes.
Some people say we'll never get it. What I'll say is you don't know that. There was a time when black people were being hung from trees. There was a time when black people were working on cotton farms. And they never could have foreseen a day that you're living in right now, that I'm living in right now. You can never say never. You just have to fight for what's right, and that's it. You do not have a crystal ball in front of you. You don't know what's going to happen. The only thing that you know is what your responsibility is in terms of black politics. You have to stand for that. You have to stand for what's right. You can't pretend that you know what's going to happen. I mean, if I had been one of those people watching somebody get hung as a black person, I might have thought to myself, it's never going to happen. But guess what? It did happen. You don't know. You have, especially, like, I'm floored by those of you who have children and don't want to fight. Like, why don't you just come to me and say, I'm a coward. Yvette, I'm a coward. And I'll be like, okay, I don't want cowards in my army, no way. But stop acting like there is another option that does not include government. That's what I want you to do. So, got anything you want to say, Aaron? We go to the phones, or you got nothing you want to say?
No.
Because I want to hear what the people got to say.
Yeah, I'm just reading what the people got to say. Yeah, that's good. Credit's got a lot of people confused.
Yeah, credit. That ain't money. It ain't wealth. Credit's a lot of things, but money and wealth ain't one of them.
But it puts you at the dinner table with people who actually have money, so you get confused.
Yeah, because you're sitting at the Olive Garden next to white people.
Yes.
But y'all ain't the same.
Nope.
You just both wear clothes from the Old Navy and the Gap. But you ain't the same. Don't get confused. But black people who used to have to wear rags when they were sharecropping, they didn't get confused. We real confused.
Yeah. Stigmatizing being poor. What media do you know that doesn't stigmatize being poor?
I don't know. Do you?
No, all the Shonda Rhimes shows, everyone's rich.
Yeah, everybody got money and everybody's always out drinking wine every time.
Yeah.
All the time out just drinking and having a ball. I don't know.
So it's got people confused about black
Nobody
life.
ever worries about the check or nothing.
Yeah, it's got people confused about black life. And I think it actually affects our politics.
I mean, when you talk about black life, just be clear and truthful about your own life.
Right.
Don't worry about anybody on TV, anybody you think of them people lying.
Right.
Worry about your own life and be truthful and honest about your own life. This is my student debt. This is my house. My house ain't appreciated. Like before
and your cousins.
And your family. I got this person locked up. I got this. There has to be and like let me tell you some people. We only have a small amount of time to start organizing. We don't have a long time.
Right.
We could go away. We could. These people are nefarious. They could make us into a throwaway people. We have to move, and we have to move quick. That's just what it is.
And I will say that right now the Democratic Party is hobbled. It's hobbled. They got taken out. It's hobbled.
When you hobble, I need to take a bat to your knee.
Exactly.
Like when you hobble, it's time for me to get the bat and just
go. Exactly. Black people, we could boycott the next election unless they talk about money. So they're going to spend the next 4 years getting black people to talk about everything except putting money into black people's pockets.
Y'all know the NAACP fired their president.
Right. So we have to have one vision. Anytime a black person on television or in media talks to a politician, the question has to come up. So what are you going to do about making this right? What are you going to do about putting money in black people's politics?
Yeah,
no recognition. No, I didn't get my voices heard. No sexuality. No money in black people's pockets.
Plan. What is the plan? And I want to get together with people. We got to start doing this. I want to get together with people. We got to come up with a plan. We got to come up with it quick. But the first part of a plan, everybody got to change their mind and stop saying, "No, that's not me. It is you." Listen, if you can take your mama or grandmama in right now, when the Medicaid cuts come, they talk about nursing homes are part of that cut. When that comes in, if you can take them in, I won't have to. That's fine. I won't talk to you no more. I'll leave you alone. If you can say, Yvette, listen, I got the $2,000 a month that it's gonna take to care for them. Ain't no big deal. I got another $2,000 to take care of whatever the expenses are for equipment. No big deal. I'll be like, okay, you got this. But that ain't nobody I know. Ain't nobody, and the data says it ain't nobody you know either.
All right, so we got to talk about some things because people on YouTube are bringing something up. A lot of black people are scared to start trouble. They don't want no trouble. And that's a justified fear of it. You got to talk about that.
Your life is trouble. I can't deal with people who are too scared for trouble. Your life is trouble.
A lot of civil rights leaders died broke and young.
I mean, but what are you going to do? These are your kids you're fighting for. You can't just be like, I don't want to. Like, how do black people think they have the right to think about themselves? Yeah. You don't have that right. Our ancestors didn't think about themselves and think about, well, did Fannie Lou Hamer think, oh, I wonder if I might get hurt? You know how many times she got shot at? I don't want to do that. I might get hurt, and it might be. You don't have the right to think about yourself. Like even if I want to go get a job, and I probably couldn't. I got too much YouTube. I got too much YouTube on me. I can't think about myself. I'm not thinking about myself. You can't either. Just be like, you got to think about, especially if you have kids, like, what are my kids going to do?
Yeah. I want my kids.
And somebody said start local. You're right. You got to start local. Start with your school board. Start with your local rep. Start with your tax commission. You don't have to go all the way because, it's harder and harder to get through to the White House and stuff because the way that they've allowed money to influence. Start where you are.
But the question is,
start big.
The issue is always going to be the same, though. At your local government, your city, your county, your neighborhood, what are we going to do to move some of that money into black people's pockets?
Yeah, and don't be scared. People are like, well, people start using big words and you think you crazy. Ain't nobody crazy. Nobody care about you and your big words. Everybody got a thesaurus at their house. Nobody care. So, you ready?
Yeah, we'll get some budgets into black schools. Keep black people employed at those schools.
Oh, this time make you need libations. Libations, people. You need libations for this, I tell you.
Hello?
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 Yes.
Am I on?
Yes, ma'am.
That sounds fine.
Okay, I can't hear.
Okay, my name is Juanita, and I'm from Atlanta.
Hey.
Oh.
And the first thing, yes, I've been looking at you a long time, and I even donate money every month.
Thank you.
But anyway, you're welcome. What I wanted to say is the biggest welfare program is the farm subsidy program.
Yeah.
Where all these white folks get paid money not to grow nothing on all that land they own.
That's true.
They get hundreds of millions of dollars to do nothing.
To do what they were doing anyway.
The program that got me pissed off.
Yeah. I agree.
And the other thing is that I'm a registered nurse.
Oh, good. That's a good job.
I'm retired now.
Ask her if she went to Grady.
But I look at my young nieces who are in their 20s and how hard it is for them to even get through college. Because there's no money.
Nope.
And it wasn't like that for me. And I'm thinking, damn. I got to get out here and get in this fight. It's not for me. We probably won't get the reparations before I die. But it's for them.
Can I ask her?
Yeah. Ivy has a question for you.
I have a question. Hey, did you go to Grady? Did you go to Grady Nursing School?
No, I didn't. I went to Kennesaw State.
Oh, my mama went to Grady.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just hoping.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say this. Nursing was my second career.
Oh, okay.
So I also have to say, even though I've been out of school for a little over 20 years, I still owe over $30,000 of student loans.
Dang.
But I think I'm going to die on them. I don't even worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I get it.
But,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that.
I don't even sweat it. I used to sweat it, so I got to pay these people off. No, I don't. But,
that quick drama McGraw over there. Sorry, Carla, quick drama McGraw on the phone. But nah, she's right about the farm. Farm subsidies. Like Army said, these Klan kids who done inherited farms they probably stole from your ancestors. These Klan kids and slave owners kids is running farms and getting subsidies. But you running around talking about how you don't need the government. Don't that sound crazy? Little pointy hats and stuff going on. And they running farms and getting money. You talking about you don't need the government. You must be a fool. You got to be out of your mind. Somebody said, God dang it, Ivy. I'm sorry.
You're on. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi, this is Cerulean Gray. I'm supporting the show. Calling from St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm a social scientist here. I have a Black Political Re-Education Program. I work with an organization called BFTC St. Paul, Down for the Cause. Mm-hmm. And we do our political re-education program, here at the village. And there was a question that you had on your last show. I wanted to call in and answer about where they were getting this 1.2 trillion fiction from. And I wanted to explain to people literally how the banks work, because you don't really have 1.2 trillion. We all know that.
Yeah.
But there's this new kind of prosperity gospel that's going on that's telling you to put all your money into these black banks. And what's happening is black people don't understand that a lot of our properties, a lot of the things that we own were mostly sequestered through the black bank. This is not the first time it actually happened. I mean, 1912, the entire reformation of the financial system was because you were gaining too much economic independence during Reconstruction. And what was happening was black folks were holding on to all that money. And then all these other groups that were coming in, they were seeing that there was a necessity to trap the money within their own community. So that was a lot of money being taken out of circulation that would go to stimulate the economy. So what was happening was they said, hey, we need to reform the system so now we can print basically money out of thin air. And then they went to the fractional reserve system, which dictates that, hey, we will allow banks, which create nothing, which create no money whatsoever, we'll allow banks to print or issue 10 times the amount of money they actually have in deposit. So what's happening is for every $1 that is deposited into a bank, whether it's black or white, etc., they're allowed to loan out 10 of those dollars on your $1 deposit. So you have these people going around telling you, put your money into a black bank, put your money into a black bank, and that's a fail because you don't really have any political representation to hold that money into a black bank, and black banks don't have any incentive to invest in the black community. Because when you really look at it, we've had black banks for over 100 years, and what have they really done for the black community?
Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Carla. I appreciate what he's saying there too. What I want to drive home is that black banks have the same fiduciary responsibility as other banks.
Good.
Which means that they have fiduciary responsibility to do what's in the best interest of their shareholders in terms of making money, and that's usually that's usually contradicts or is not in line with what's best for the black community. What's best for your bottom line isn't what's best for the black community. Loaning to black people isn't what's best for the black community. So, what I want to say in terms of that is that you have to consider the fiduciary responsibility of the bank. That you think you invest in a black bank and this bank is going to invest in the black community. No, they have a fiduciary responsibility to do what's best for the shareholders. And that's usually not what's best for the black community. But nobody wants to talk about that. Hashtag black capitalism.
Yeah. I mean, they have a responsibility to pretty much invest in white companies.
Yep.
So it's a political problem. There's no way around it. It's a political problem. We need the government to force private actors to invest, employ, and give contracts to black people. Give jobs to black people.
I agree.
All right, let's go. Well, tell the people who you are to subscribe.
If you're watching this, everybody, go subscribe to brown.com, donate brown.com, go to breakingbrown.com. And actually, you can subscribe to the newsletter for $2 a month. If you're watching this, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell button so that you get notifications when I'm on. And also make sure you share it with your group, share it with your friends. I know it's controversial, but share it anyway. It's what we got to do.
Politics, right?
Somebody said no sound. I don't know what's going on with that.
What?
I don't see it from everybody. But somebody said no sound. Hello?
Hello?
How you doing?
Hello? All right, how's it going?
Pretty good.
All right, I want to tell y'all something about land, all right?
Okay.
Like the lady was saying before, when my grandfather and them were around, we weren't getting all the subsidies that all the other farms were getting around. That were getting, that were around us, all right?
Okay.
Back in like the 40s, they asked, we had, if you imagine a square, right? They asked to build a road through our property to connect to another road. We agreed to it, right?
Okay.
Well, now, they're trying to charge more for the property on the left-hand side because we don't have any animals over there.
What?
The right-hand side has animals over there. You see what I'm saying? So they try to charge you more because you're not ag exempt, they call it. All right? And when you're not ag exempt, your value goes like, imagine this again. You have a square and you have 10 acres. Your county would much rather break up that 10 acres in half-acre plots for homes opposed to one person owning that 10 acres. They would much rather have 20 homes on that 10 acres in terms of your tax dollars. Okay. So in turn, what they're trying to do to us is put it at a higher rate because we don't have animals over there, we don't have water over there because you can't, the other side has water because back in the day they would just go from one side of the property, the left side of the property, to the right side of the property and go get water.
Yeah.
But now, like I say, a generation later, now they want to tax us higher, and we're trying to sit there and say, well, we should be grandfathered in for this because we've had this land and we've owned this land since, the late 1800s. And now you guys want to try to change the rules on us after we let you guys do something. Mm-hmm. And that's another way that they try to manipulate the system in order for you to lose your land. Because like I said, they much rather have 20 people out there living on half-acre tracts opposed to having one person paying just this little amount. And that's another way that they try to manipulate the system to get you out of your land, in other words. You know what I mean?
I understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I just want to let you...
Thank you, Carla. And I think what he's saying on a smaller level is what we talk about, right? Like they determine the rule book. The rule book, they have the rule book. So what he's talking about is they changed the rules. We should be grandfathered in, but they want to use that to build houses. They don't want you to just have that land. So they changed the rules and say you have more taxes or whatever. But that's what happens. That's what policies are. Policies are the rules.
And they're hoping that he loses the land.
And they're hoping that he loses the land. They're hoping they can hike the taxes up enough to where he loses the land. You know the only thing that could change that? Black politics. The only thing that could change it if he gets some organizers in there, some black people in there to organize and say, no, he's not gonna lose his land. You filing LLC paperwork ain't gonna help him keep his land. It just won't. And so what you realize is that the rule, like government decides, and I keep saying this, but government decides the winners and losers. That's what happens. And what we have to do is change who they determine to be the winners and losers. But that happens through politics. And I hate when people come onto my page without watching the show and say, what are the solutions? I told you what it was. You just don't listen. The solution is black politics. That's the only hope we have is black politics. The only hope we have is to go to somebody like that and get a bunch of people behind that person and say, we're going to support this person. Because they should have been grandfathered in and they shouldn't be charged higher taxes. But we don't do that. We say, well, I'm gonna have a business. I'm going to compete with Amazon.com. Okay. Yep.
John?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Go on to the next one. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Hey. How you doing?
I'm doing good. This is Anthony from down in Mississippi again. I'm glad I was able to speak to you again tonight.
Hey.
I just wanted to basically call and just thank you again for putting your voice out there on this necessary topic.
Thank you.
We do need to analyze and get our politics correct in the black community. And one thing that you always say is we have to understand who our allies are and who we actually are, who we are, who our allies are, who our enemies are. So I want to thank you and thank you for pretty much laying the groundwork for us as far as figuring that out. Here in Jackson, as you know, you spoke on it a time or two before, we have a new mayor. We've elected a new Democratic nominee to be our new mayor in Jackson. Yep. The previous mayor that we had, Army always speaks about contracts. Well, this guy, he was elected it was pretty much overwhelmingly throughout the city, a lot of people who voted for him, a lot of older people as well as a lot of younger people. But the thing is, when he first got into office, the first thing he did was try to give almost 3 times the word contract to some white company from out of state who happened to donate like $30,000 to his campaign. So like everybody in the city was already eyeing him because there was like this scathing report in the local newspaper about it. Everybody knew about it.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to get him out of office ever since he made it into office. But the thing is we have to focus on black politics and how to analyze who really is for us and who is just pretending to be us. Because he put on the preacher suit in Mississippi and it walked just like it would walk on any other Sunday. And we bought it. But he screwed us over time and time again. He was sued numerous times because of all type of things that he did, that just was not in the best judgment for the people of our city.
Yeah.
And we have to understand what you're saying in order to get that correct.
Thank you, Carla. No, I agree with that. I mean, I think we gotta. Have a good night. You too. You have a good night too. I think we gotta stop talking about black faces in high places. Yes. Like I would love to see black politicians, but listen, if I can find a white politician who's gonna be fair and who I give them an agenda, and they say yes, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this.
I support white people for reparations.
Yeah, if you can get my agenda, I don't care. I don't care who you are, what you look like. If you got my agenda, that's all that matters. We think I'm supporting a brother, I'm supporting a sister. Some of these brothers ain't brothers, some of these sisters ain't sisters. And so you have to be able to say this. And that's why, I think that's why Irony came up with the phrase, put money in black people's pockets. Because I think that's the lens through which you can see it. Like, what is the wealth distribution, the wealth transfer in terms of the community? That's the way where I can determine. When you get on TV, are you talking about ways to put money in my pocket, or are you talking about something that ain't got nothing to do with your constituents? I see a lot of black people, especially the Congressional Black Caucus, that get on TV and talk about something that ain't got nothing to do with me, nothing to do with you, nothing to do with the black people in their district. They're talking about stuff just to be on CNN, talking about stuff that you don't even understand, talking about Syria. You don't know nothing about Syria. Go somewhere and sit down.
Talk about Russia. Nope.
Talking about Russia. You don't know nothing about Russia. Get somewhere and hush, Maxine. Among many more.
So
but we sit on a local level too.
Yeah, and you can just say, so tell me again about how you're going to put money in black people's pockets?
Yeah, tell me again, because I must have missed it the first time, because I ain't hear nothing.
You're on.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, this is Coco from Detroit again.
Coco!
I wanted to go into how you were saying that we will not admit that we're broke. And I want to give you an incident that I had at the grocery store. I was in the grocery store, and it was two young black gentlemen, and they both had EBT cards. And when they greeted one another, one of them asked the other, "How you doing, man? Where you living at now?" And the guy with the EBT card says, "Well, I just been buying houses. I'm just going to keep on buying houses till I find one that I like."
What?
And I'm just going to keep on. He got the EBT card in his hand, and he says, "I'm just going to keep on buying houses till I find the one that I like." And he was so sincere. And I'm thinking to myself, he probably getting a Social Security check too, because something's definitely wrong with this guy.
Yeah, disability.
But I'm going to the point of where we will not admit that we are poor. And me and the other guy I'm just looking at him like, what? What are you saying? You probably living in abandoned houses throughout Detroit. Who even saying this? And I thought of your show when you always say we do not want to admit that we are poor. I know something got to be the matter with him for him to even say that. And it just made me so profoundly sad that he even went there. You know? Yeah. And you see it so many times where we just don't admit where we are at. And that's all I had to say and contribute to the show today.
Thank you, Coco. Thank you, Coco. I appreciate that. No, she's right. Like, we don't admit that, like, we're poor. Like, we be like, yeah, I'm about to, I'm in this. I see people all the time. Like, I'm always like, if you see me like now and I'm talking, you wouldn't recognize me when I'm out. I'm usually just sitting somewhere looking. And I hear people all the time. "Oh, yeah, brother, I made that money. Oh, sister, yeah, we buying this new." Come on, man, hush. What are you talking about? You're using the EBT card. It's probably your girlfriend's. And you go out to dinner, you probably on your boyfriend's stuff. The funniest thing is that we don't want reparations. We say we don't want reparations, but we use other black people for our reparations, right? So if you get out of jail and you're a black man, you got some black woman waiting on you, and you're going to get her, baby, I just got out of jail, I need to do this, I need to do this. You're going to use that black woman for your reparations, right? She's going to be your reparations. If you a black woman, well, I want you to buy me dinner. And I need this, and I want a house, and I had this whole life plan. You want him to be your reparations. We use each other for reparations. And ain't nobody got no money. When the real reparations is all this money that this country's has gotten off of us. So instead of lying, talking about you buying houses and going from place to place with a debit card, tell the truth. I ain't got no money, brother. I just got this card from the girl I started dating a couple weeks ago. I talked her out of it. I talked her out of her EBT card, and I told her I needed some money, and she gave me this. Boy, I'm shooting bad. Tell the truth. Jeez.
No shame in telling the truth.
No, ain't no shame when you us. Like we came from like we came from rich people. And we're just like, I was a part of the aristocracy, and then, the war came. You remember the war. No, that ain't us. So.
You're on.
Hey, Ms. Carnell, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Okay. This is Baruti from Jacksonville, Florida. I've got a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
First one is, hypothetically, if the U.S. were just suddenly emptied of black people, would the majority white populace and the government be more amenable to like universal single payer medical coverage and other socioeconomic safety net provisions like you find in the EU, Canada, and Australia? That's the first question. And the second one is, have you ever thought about engaging in conversation on your show any of the white nationalists like Jared Taylor or Richard Spencer as potential pseudo-allies, since some of your platforms seem to parallel theirs in certain ways, like halting immigration, stopping illegal immigration, or increasing the value of American citizenship, etc. I'll thank you for your time, and I'll let you respond to my comment.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl. Ironman, please tell the people about Richard Spencer. Before I give my answer, can you please tell the people how Richard Spencer got his platform?
All right, so Richard Spencer is what you call a white entrepreneur. And you know what I mean by white entrepreneur? I mean, he got his investment capital from generational white wealth, which was based on generational black poverty and labor. His mother is Richard Spencer. Now, we're talking about Richard Spencer, the founder of the alt-right movement, who started his press in a building and got all of his equipment paid for from his mother's money. And his mother is, you'll never believe it, she's a cotton farmer heiress. So she owns cotton farms in Louisiana. And from that cotton farm money that's been in her family, that was what generated the income and to buy property in Montana that allowed Richard Spencer to take time off his job and start the alt-right, the white supremacist organization. So that is all you need to know about white capitalism in America.
Yeah.
Like the white supremacist organization was founded on slave money.
Please understand what Ironman's saying. This white supremacist who's talking all this yak, he wouldn't have any money if it wasn't for slaves. He wouldn't have any money if it wasn't for slaves and slave cotton farmers. Now, in terms of what he's talking about, I do kind of agree. I mean, homogenous communities have much more, have you know, spilling sweet or whatever. They have less incarceration rates because they're homogenous. Right? And people don't want to put their own away. The problem I have, and sometimes with immigration, is we didn't get a chance to figure our own stuff out as black people before the floodgates got open. Can we just be black, white, and figure our stuff out? The floodgates open now, we can do. So I do understand that in terms of, but I mean, maybe if Spencer would give me that money back that your mama and them got illegally, and I can talk to you. I can usually find a bond with anybody, but this dude is walking around with money that he shouldn't have.
Yes.
And he's not like I think there are white people who probably voted for Trump who understand that immigration is a problem for them and lowers the floor in terms of pay. I don't think Spencer's one of those people. I just think he don't like people of color, whether they be African American, Latino, or whatever. But I do, you know, in terms of incarceration rates, I do think there's a point there. But I just can't. I think you would just turn on me. Like I want to combine with other people. I'm not saying I won't combine with Republicans or conservatives, that I won't join forces with them in terms of trying to do what needs to be done. But I can't do nothing with Spencer. Give me my money. Give me my money back. Give me that money that you got from the slaves, and then I'll feel like you're coming from a real honest place.
Some of that slave money.
Yeah, some of that slave money.
And this is the insidious thing, right? So like we want, in a well-ordered world, we should be able to sue Spencer for some of that slave money back.
Yeah, but then you know they got it chopped up now. So if you try to sue, they say, well, if it's frivolous, they'll sue you for everything. They'll take everything we got. So like people don't understand that like the civil rights movement, like so much of the civil rights movement was undergirded with litigation. But we can't do that no more because they've changed the rules so much. We have so much of a problem doing it. And we won't come together and say, hey, and get a bunch of money together as a community and say, we're going to do this as a community. You can't do it as a person. That's what black people have a hard time understanding as African Americans. We can't do stuff as individuals no more. We got to do it collectively. If you want to get together collectively and sue and get these sellouts who have money, who have a little bit of money, won't even come on. We can do that, but we can't do this individually. They'll break us, and they want to do it. They would enjoy doing it. It would be giggles for them. What they say, shits and giggles. Just what it would be. Yep.
Yes, my name is Vanessa calling from North Carolina. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Great. This is my first time calling. And I just want to say about political action and working as a group. I'm originally from South Carolina. And the black farmers in South Carolina and other southern states was pretty much getting screwed over by the government in providing equipment for their farms. White farmers was provide all type of grants and assistance. Well, the black farmers got together, and it took years, but they collectively sued the government and got some funds.
Mm-hmm.
You may call it reparations from the government. And now some of the black farmers' grandchildren have received some of the aid that the government stole from their parents or their grandparents. So my point is that political action does matter.
Yes.
You know, these people did not have the most education.
No.
They didn't went to, get their master's degree, but they knew they was getting screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
And they did something about it.
Absolutely.
So that's just my point. I just want to say I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And I really behind you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You hear that? Political action matters. Political action matters. That's action that we do. I know it's not easy.
Right.
The stuff that we talk about is not easy. It's much easier to talk about what you're going to do as an individual, man. I got a plan. You know how many people I know got that plan? And what their plan looks like now, I'm 10 years later, and I go, you ever go to a barbecue and you ask somebody and they say they got a plan, they're going to do this, and then the next time you go to the barbecue, well, that didn't work, I'm going to do this. And it's 20 years later, y'all in y'all late 30s or whatever, and they like, it ain't happened. Dude, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen through individual effort.
And all black politics isn't good black politics. All black politics isn't real black politics. Yeah. And the one question you have to ask is this politics going to put money in black people's pockets?
Yeah, and I see somebody, I just got a message that Devos, the Secretary of Education, about to cut school education down to the white meat. You hear me? She about to cut it down. What you gonna do? You gonna file some LLC paperwork to take care of that too? Or we gonna start working for each other, with each other, collectively, like we used to do? Or you finna go make that rap album? Or you finna go start that new business that's gonna take care of the black community? No, that's not how politics works. And somebody said, I want that DOS benefits card now. Me too. We should have had that a long time ago. I mean, that should get us so much stuff. Like, you should get like 2 months off work. I'm stressed. This is my DOS card. I'm stressed. I got a lot. My people ain't had no money.
Down payment on a house? No, you don't need to run. You don't need to run that credit. Oh, I thought I needed to run your credit. I didn't see your DOS card.
I didn't see your DOS card. I got it. Your DOS card get you a $20,000 down payment on a house. Don't worry about it. That comes directly from the government. People don't understand what we're owed. Like, we really are owed that. We really are owed that. And either you're gonna fight for it or you ain't. Either you scared or you ain't. I don't understand why people like Yvette acts like a slave. No, you act like a slave. Because you so scared, but you won't say you scared. Just say you scared. Say, Yvette, I'm scared. I'm a grown man or woman and I'm scared. Okay? Walk away. But don't lie and be like, well, I'm the one scared. How am I scared? I'm the one who's here every Monday and Wednesday night. I can't never get a job again. How am I scared?
Yeah,
You're the one talking anonymously to me.
And let's be honest, like the black nationalists and the black capitalists, they all can get jobs. Right? Talking like we're talking is not only going to get you out of the employment market. Talking like we're talking, it's got people killed.
It's got people killed.
Medgar it gets people killed. Black politics.
You go through all of them.
Black politics that actually means getting money into black people's pockets gets people killed. But that's the kind of politics we need. So let's see some bravery out there, Blake and Brown.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's take us another one.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello. Hi, guys. My name is Kira. I'm from New Jersey.
Hey.
And I would like to just ask a quick question. As far as a platform with like very specific points, does the legalization of cannabis fall anywhere on there for you, and how, in relation to mass incarceration, and how do you see it working through and helping us?
Okay.
All right. That's
And I appreciate what you guys are doing, and we've been following, and definitely have an ally. And
Okay. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that. The thing is, I'm all about getting black people out of jail. And I don't think cannabis is something that should be illegal, right? I don't believe that. But part of my problem is that they're going to start having us incarcerate people in our house. What they're going to do is just start giving somebody an ankle bracelet. Now, he's going to come out of jail, and he's going to think I should be a rap star, or I should be a bodybuilder, or I should be a businessman, because he's heard all of this black aspirational rhetoric, and he's going to be a problem because nobody gave him therapy. Nobody gave him a job training program. Nobody's giving him a job. So I'm all for getting black people out of jail. And I care about getting money into the pockets of black people. I do care about that. I don't think you should do that. Selling marijuana or having marijuana is something that should be penalized with jail. But I think when you come out of jail, I think there should be something waiting for you. I don't want you to be sent home to your mama's house, your girlfriend's house, your wife's house, your brother's house, and you just don't know what to do with yourself. So you're just a problem with the person, and the government still hasn't made good on the debt that you owe or the years that you lost. You don't have any therapy, you don't have any money, you don't have any job. That's a problem for me. So I want to see these non-violent offenses, not carry jail time. But if they do carry jail time, people get put out of jail. I need to see programs that make them, able to have a life, even if that's like a basic income. I need that to happen, because other than that, they're just going to be a problem to the people. They're going to become a problem to other black people if you do that, because they're not ready to be reintroduced to society. And what happens then, you go back to what you know, and what you know may not be good. So I don't want the government to put black people who have problems, because how could you not have a problem after being put in a cage for a long time? There's no way to not have a problem after that. I want the government to take care of that too, because you gave them that problem. You didn't have to do that. Somebody selling weed shouldn't have went to jail. Okay? So that's my issue. And I need the government to take care of all of that, not just part of that.
Good. And there are people, on the table right now is actually, we can be talking about a guaranteed job for black people, at least for black people.
Yeah.
Guaranteed public job. Because there are things that need to be done, both in the community and in America, that aren't getting done and the market's not taken care of. For example, a lot of people in the rural America don't have internet as fast as they should. Someone's got to act. We're waiting for satellite, but that's not going to happen. Google, they just want to drive their Google Map truck through your town, but they don't actually want to lay down fiber to get you internet. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done in America that black people can do. So one thing reparations can look like is a guaranteed job. A guaranteed job doing things that the market's not taking care of. It could be cleaning old people's gutters or reading to them, or building the trenches for rural broadband. There's an interview I did with a guy who's thinking about running for Congress. It's on my channel. Just go to either my name, Irony, or The Funky Academic. And I did with him, and he talked about both guaranteed job for at least black people, a federal job at $20 an hour, a full federal job guaranteed for at least black people, and then also legal care. Because if you don't have access to a lawyer, you actually don't really have rights. If you don't have access to a lawyer, you really can't defend anything. And the courtroom is where actual rights are defended. So black people should be able to just go to a lawyer, pay like a $5 copay, and see a lawyer. That's legal care on the model of single-payer health care. It's all right. It should be all right, because if you can't actually realize your rights, you don't have rights. If you can't actually defend your rights, you don't have rights. People can just take what they want from you. And that's the place we are in right now. So we should get free legal care, and we should get a guaranteed job. And that's the kind of politics that I think that'll move us forward. And if you go to my page, Irony or The Funky Academic, any of that, there's an interview where I'm talking with a philosophy professor, and we're going over these arguments.
All right, Irony.
Well,
go to Iron's page, The Funky Academic, and have him speak on it. He gonna speak on it intellectually now. He gonna speak, but he gonna speak on it. So I agree. People say, well, you have rights. No, if I can't afford no attorney, I ain't got no rights. I ain't got nothing. Stop lying to me. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired. You ain't got no rights. Shut up. Just stop lying to me all the time. So let's take another call. Damn it.
Just go to attorney. What attorney? What are you talking about?
Legal aid, but they ain't minimum. Hello?
Yeah. My name is Jacoby. I'm currently in Texas right now. I have a degree in political science, and one of the hardest things for me was realizing that growing up, I come from a family who really doesn't have much wealth at all. None.
Most of us do.
None. All the males in my family have been incarcerated or currently incarcerated. The problem, what I'm seeing is, schools have trained us to basically fit the capitalist system. Mm. And the capitalist system is basically, as y'all like to talk about, it's basically social construction of the mind to make everyone think like a white male. Yeah. And because we all become like here, the biggest thing they like to say is chasing a bag. And I tell people all the time, I tell my friends, chasing a bag without trying to change the rules is doing nothing. Because all you're doing is chasing. If you don't have the wealth, like the caller before me was talking about weed, for example, if you look at how they set the way weed laws are being legalized right now, it's no coincidence that in states like Oregon, Maine, Colorado, it's legal. But in the South, where people are getting 30 years for, your third charge of possession of marijuana, it's still illegal. Mm. It's like they're cornering the market, allowing white people with some type of generational wealth start businesses to make money off the product while they're still incarcerating us and making money off us for having it. And I just think that it's like, it might not be blatant when it comes down to physical slavery, but there's social economic slavery right there. That's almost like a visible, like Missouri Compromise. Because if you look at where it's legal at, it's legal in states where, they don't make a lot of money off African American prisoners for marijuana. Mm. They just don't.
Yeah.
But in the states where it's still illegal, they're making, they're making 30 years worth of money off, people that's incarcerated of color. Like, we have outliers like California, for example. California may have major urban cities with a lot of minorities, but they know they're not losing much money in states like that because those are states that's really like gang violence. Mm. So, say for instance, if I left from Texas right now with a marijuana possession felony on my record, I couldn't go to Colorado and possess the means to even start a business because I have a felony for marijuana.
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, and what they're doing is, even if you don't have a felony, say you African American don't have much wealth, you still can't go to the bank and ask for a loan because the bank can't give a loan to start a weed business.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. I did read an article about the startup I read an article about the startup costs of a weed dispensary, and it's over $500,000. So it's actually like they're going to legalize weed, but then lock out black people from the business.
Yep. No, yeah. I agree.
They'll put us in prison though.
I agree.
Yeah. So
no, he's right. Thank you, Carla.
Yeah, the startup costs were over $500,000, and then you have to go through the political process to get the right license. So pretty much it's a business that black people are going to be locked out of. It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar business once it's legalized that black people are going to be locked out of.
Yep. Let's take one last call. Woo. Yeah, felonies destroy lives. That's true. Yogi Fish.
What are you laughing at, man?
I'm laughing a lot. I'm laughing at the comments, the YouTube comment. Hello?
Hello? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Mr. Black from Black Man Takes Our Community Back channel. And I appreciate the show that you're doing because you're kind of exposing a lot of truth that a lot of people don't even know about, you know. And I wanted to kind of reiterate a little bit further, even on some of the losses that Black people have taken that we don't even really. I don't know if it's just escaped our psyche or we just don't necessarily want to delve deep into the history of it. But, you know, a lot of people don't understand is that, like, with the Homestead Act alone, that was like 270 acres that was given to whites for the most part, with just, you know, for just a $18 filing fee. And, you know, and a lot of people don't take into consideration. And they were also trained on how to farm this land, how to pass this land down. And, you know, when you look at the fact that Black folks at the turn of the 19th century, we owned about 14% of the land. And now we only own 1%. And, you know, and a lot of that land was taken through adverse possession laws after they would do riots. And we've experienced tons and tons of riots where, and a lot of people get caught up into the faux morality aspect of it, and they don't look at the tangible losses that Black people really lost in these times. We focused on the lynchings or on, you know, like the Mississippi burning down the houses. But, you know, just in Red Summer, that was 1,000 houses that were burned to the ground.
Yes, say it again, the Red Summer.
1,100 houses burned and taken through adverse possession.
Exactly.
And, you know, when I did the calculations, you know, just Forsyth County, Georgia, you know, in 1912, that was over $300 million in lost assets if you were to adjust for inflation today. And just that small town, that's enough. And if Black folks were to just go through their family history, the people that are from that area, go through your family history and go look through those files and see, you know, if your family was, you know, lost that money in that. You know what I mean? Because these are important things. Like you got the Red Summer, that was 1,000 homes. Tulsa, Oklahoma, that was over 1,100 homes. You know, and Colfax, you know, that was tons of homes. Wilmington, the Wilmington riots in 1898, thousands of property losses that Black folks suffered, let alone the 15 million acres that we lost, you know, all the way well past Jim Crow. You know, we had 15 million acres that we paid for, mind you, and the whites were given 270 million acres for free. The ones that we paid for, we got ran off of, and we had to continuously start over because whites would just come in, race riot. You know, they would blame it on, oh, y'all, you know, beat up a white girl, or y'all raped a white girl. What dude raped a white, or was allegedly raped a white girl, and then they come and take out thousands of acres of land from Black folk.
Yeah.
You know, and you alluded, and one more thing, you alluded to the special field order. Number 15 by General Sherman, like they gave us that land, you know, because we helped fight in that war during the Civil War. So General Sherman gave us that 400,000 acres. Now this is prime real estate today over in Savannah, Georgia. When they talk about the 40 acres and a mule, and you know, this is prime real estate. I'm talking like. This is over by Savannah, Georgia, those islands over there. I mean, this is, over by Myrtle Beach. So this is prime real estate. We just lost it because Andrew Johnson repatriated the Confederate soldiers, and they just went ahead and just took the land back and then put us to work on the same land that we started to cultivate anyway. So we built the land up. The whites, after Andrew Johnson gave them the land back, we lost 400,000 acres. 400,000 acres that we just simply lost. And we had mules, we were cultivating that land and building up that land. They just came, they took it, and they put us back to work. It was almost like another version of slavery through sharecropping. And we killed that land and never got it back and just lost it. 400,000 acres, just in that one instance.
Yeah.
So, that's all I wanted to say. But I'm just saying, it's a lot of tangible losses that we've taken over the years. And I don't think we focus enough on those just losses. I think we can fix this stuff back if we really did the due diligence on it and just try to and find out,
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Carla. I appreciate you calling in. You talking about the Red Summer. If y'all don't know about that, read up the Red Summer. And read up about what he's talking about, because what happens is our land just got snatched. And that's part of my problem with the do for self ideology. The do for self ideology just tell you don't worry about that. Don't worry about what happened to you. Just make what you mean. Like if you get a bunch, that's like telling somebody, you know what? I came in my house and there was another MFer in my house and they took my house. And then somebody come and you say, don't worry about that, man. We gonna make enough money to get a new house. But that's my house. I want to go get my house. I work for that house. No, don't worry about that, man. Why you gotta be a beggar? Why you gotta be begging white people? Because the white people stole my house. I want my house back. He's talking about thousands of acres. He's talking about thousands of homes that were taken. Do you know what your life would look like or how your life would look differently if you could have inherited that? But the do for self people bother me because they just say, don't worry about that. That's begging the white man. Like, no, but he stole my house. Yeah. He stole my house and your house and the horse and the dog and everything. I'm supposed to just start over. Now he's taken that house and made it into something else. He's taken that house and made it into like a big corporation. But you're not supposed to worry about it. I don't know. For me, just for me, the do for self ideology sounds like cowardice to me. It sounds like you're not. It sounds like you're
don't
not
want to fight
man
for
enough
your house.
or woman enough to fight for your stuff. It sounds like you're not man enough or woman enough to fight for your people. It sounds like you're not man enough or woman enough to go fight the American government. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like to me you ducking your tail and running. So that's what I hear every time I hear it. So no, I'm never gonna be down with it. It is what it is. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You can, like I said, you go to donatebrown.com and donate. You can go to breakingbrown.com and subscribe to the newsletter. You can go subscribe to Brown. Go to subscribe to Brown. I'm trying to add everybody who shows up for the newscast to that mailing list, so that if anything goes down with YouTube, I'll have everybody. Share this with everybody. Share this on your web pages. On your Facebook. Tweet it if that's what you're into. And make sure you hit the bell so that you know when it's coming on. Like I said, the Booker T. Washington conversation has been postponed to June. To those of you who didn't catch it in the beginning, it's been postponed to June. So that's where we are. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. So until Wednesday.
Thanks.
All right.
And yeah, you remember this stuff doesn't kind of pay for itself, and we're trying to grow. So please tell your friends about what we're doing here, doing Black Politics every Monday and Wednesday night. Tell your friends, send it out to your email list and your clubs and your sororities whoever you talk to. You should be talking about how to get money into Black people's pockets.
Because in the rich country of the world, if you ain't doing that, what's the point?
And honestly, if your sorority sisters and your book club people, if they're doing good, that means we're all doing good. So let's spread some of this money around. Let's get some of this money back. Right. Yeah. All right. And go to breakingbrown.com, set up a monthly.
All right. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. All right. Enjoy your night.